What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new series. We have quite a treat for you. The series is going to be called My A.D.D. I'm here, Venom, with my partner,
David.
David being as sexy as possible. And we have quite a surprise for you. What this series, My A.D.D. is with me and David, or David and whoever wants to talk about any sort of topics. We do like a random gameplay in the background. We talk about them.
Sorry. Use the
Right.
the Viper Gamers, capital T, capital V, capital G. Good to say in Temple.
Shut up.
Sorry.
And now we move into what this series is about. I decided to call it my ADD, my ADHD, whatever I decide to use. Because we don't actually focus on one topic. We go from one topic to another, and it's a whole crazy deal. And let's get started. How does that sound, David?
It sounds fantastic, Venom.
I already informed David on most of the topics that we're going to talk about, so we're more or less on the same page. David actually knows a little bit more on some of the topics than I do, so if you guys hear me make a mistake, if David doesn't correct it, go ahead and say something in the comments or whatever. So let's get started. First topic. We already went over the intro, so first topic: the Xbox One.
Oh, Joe.
Now, in my opinion, shittiest name they could have possibly come up with. I would have actually been less mad if they came out with the Xbox 720. I would have been less mad if they did that. You know what I mean, David?
I think the only reason you say that is because it was kind of expected, because everyone's like, oh yeah, they're going to make another Xbox. They're probably going to make it the 720 because, 360 and 360, 720 had to spend all night trying to figure that math out.
But I mean, why one is my question. Why one? Yeah, why one? I mean, of all things you...
I don't know. I don't think there was like a set. Get the fuck out of my face. I don't think there was really a set reason for it. I think that just kind of happened.
Alright. I'm going to be talking about some of the specs. David knows a little bit more about the specs than I do, but I'm going to go ahead and try my best to explain them to you guys. They have basically a ton of stuff, which I like to call it the fuckover squad. Basically, in my opinion, most of these specs that they have on the 360 is, well, useless. One of the things is that they're going to be doing is they're going old digital. Is that correct, David?
What
Or
do
at
you
least attempt to go old digital. For example, they're going to... What I heard, these are rumors again, guys. So the rumors are not confirmed yet. That they're going to be giving you like a digital code, and you got to put that in your Xbox.
Yeah, for like purchasing games, it's gonna be like that. I don't know if discs are gonna be in play anymore. Like I figured they would be, because then that would just completely kill the that was weird. The market for like discs. I mean, shit. There's a market, as much as we tend not to think about that, because they seem so what was it? We take them for granted. I mean, they're
Second
just kinda
nature.
there. Yeah, like we don't really. But yeah, that's gonna kill that. But I imagine.
And we're going to go... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I imagine that that it would just.
They're going to put it in
destroy
place
that.
somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I figured like you're gonna install disk, you're gonna install a code, and then the disk is uttered useless.
Yeah. We're actually going to go into this topic a little bit later, because that's actually our third topic, but we're not done with the first one yet. So they basically have like a ton of crazy shit set up on the Xbox. For example, I know the Kinect now, or their new version of the Kinect, is going to be a bundle with every Xbox, so like unlike the previous one where it came out late, so you had to either buy it separately or buy a brand new Xbox.
It's gonna come with the Xbox. So.
Yeah, which is cool. But
you're also getting fucked over, because you're going to be also paying for that Kinect too, which honestly no one's going to want to use, which actually from what I'm saying right now we're going to get into later. So
yeah. But David was on the track of what I was going to say, and then he reminded me we were going to go over later. So David, do you know any other useless specs they're going to have on it?
Well, due to the Kinect being, the Kinect, they're actually going to make the Kinect, like, you have to use it in every game you play, whether it be gestures or voice commands or something really dumb like that. I don't like it as much as you guys, but they're putting it in there.
Ooh, I also know that they're going to end up... Well, I don't know, but rumors, again, that they're going to be putting in how do I say this? Your Xbox has to always be hooked up to the internet.
Yeah, the always-on feature. It's kind of like a cloud type thing. They're like, oh yeah, this is our new cloud system. It's totally new and it's never been done before. Which, you know, obviously it has. But so they're going to be doing that, and so basically it fucks over anybody who can't connect to Xbox Live. And you know, the people who can connect to Xbox Live, it's like, well, fuck, now I have to play it. Because,
yeah.
I mean, if
and
you're
then what
not
happens
playing it,
if
then
you...
it's useless.
Yeah, and then what happens if you move? Like, you gotta pack your Xbox. And I heard there was like a whole thing where you have to plug it in within 24 hours for it to function properly. You need to have, like, it connected at some point within 24 hours for it to function. Which I personally think is bullshit if they are gonna go with it, because, you know...
I have not heard anything about that. If that's true, then that seems absolutely ludicrous. Yeah. But I haven't heard nothing of that.
Yeah, these are all rumors, guys. We are actually going like in and out of rumor and non-rumor territory. But I'm telling you guys what I've heard from people and stuff like that. So basically, again, what I heard was that you guys can plug it in within 24 hours, which is completely ridiculous. So if you have to move, you're fucked.
I don't know about that one. I don't think that's I mean, to be honest, that wouldn't make sense, because, I mean, I imagine they have taken that into account. Mm-hmm. You never know.
Yeah. They also predicted that the next-gen consoles are going to sell close to 1 billion copies, which is 1/7 of the world population, which is also quite a bit ludicrous. But, they can predict all they want. It's going to be embarrassing for them if it does not happen, which, I don't mind if 1 billion people have it, whatever. But, according to where the Xbox is going, I don't see it getting too much sales.
While we're on the topic of sales and copies and such, for the Xbox One, along with the PlayStation 4, games are going to be $100 per new game.
I heard $70, but $100 is ridiculous. I heard $70. At that point, it's ridiculous.
It's $100.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
You can go onto Amazon.com. Anybody who's listening, you can go onto Amazon.com and go to a PlayStation 4 game, and you can look at the price. Like Watch Dogs, $100. Thief 4, $100.
Are you sure it's not like a Prestige Edition?
I'm absolutely sure. Normal Edition,
that's
PlayStation
crazy.
4 game, $100. And I know that, knowing Microsoft, they're probably going to compete the same exact way, so they're going to be
that's ridiculous.
Pricing their games at $100.
I think at this point, if this shit goes down, I was actually contemplating on buying the PS3 according to what Microsoft and the shit that they're PS4 rather, with the shit that they're pulling. I think I'd rather a PS4. But now that you bring that up, fuck that. I'm not paying $100 for a game.
Yeah, the only thing that you could benefit from the PS4 is I don't know if they have their own used game policy like the Xbox One is gonna have.
What I heard was during like the whole announcement, the presentation of it, PlayStation was actually taking down notes, and so they might be implying some of the systems. I'm not saying all, but like some of the stuff. Speaking of the used games, if we're on that right now, I might as well jump to my third topic. If we jump back right now, GameStop is getting fucked over left and right.
Oh, definitely.
Because if you guys don't know, how a multi-billion-dollar corporation like GameStop makes their money is they make their money off of used games. Basically, all the profit that they get from used games they keep, which is why they fuck you over and give you a low price. At least that's in my experience. They give me like a shitty price for my used games.
Price.
And as much as you hate GameStop, put it this way: you will no longer ever be allowed to return your games. So let's say you bought.
Well, that's not completely true. That's not completely true. Let me just cut in right here.
Go ahead. That's why you're here.
The used games policy that Xbox One has released is that anybody who purchases a used game is going to be charged a fee. The person who sells a used game is going to be charged a fee. So that's obviously going to go down so smoothly for the community. It's either one of those, actually. I don't think it's both, but I know one of them. I think it's the seller gets charged a fee. So
that's crazy.
And then you're going to have to go through a whole other process of getting the only reason the fee is there is because then you have to acquire a new online code, which, again, like Venom said earlier, we're going to go into like the crazy digital version of gaming. So that you're basically paying for that, however much that may be. I mean, like if you get a new game, shit, you're out of there.
Yeah, that has also happened recently with people who bought used games. They didn't have like the online code or stuff like that, so they had to buy it separately. But that's besides the topic. We're talking about the new gen consoles, which I mean personally, if what you're saying, David, is true, I'm gonna rethink buying a new gen console. I don't know about you.
I wasn't actually intending to buy one in the first place. I was actually going to be sticking with the PC.
PC route. PC, I love PC. Like, I'm starting to look more and more PC as the more they're announcing about the next-gen consoles. Speaking of next-gen consoles, I haven't heard anything from PlayStation in a while. Like, they have, other than the press conference that they had not too long ago, I haven't heard too much about the PlayStation whatsoever.
Yeah, there's not too much buzz going around with them, but I mean, I think they're trying to avoid a statement because of the whole, hey, we're going to make you pay $100 for a new game.
Yeah. Which, again, is ludicrous. Are we done with this topic, David? You want to move on to another one?
Yeah.
Alright. Next topic. Call of Duty Ghost.
Oh my god.
David, think of it this way. You get your own fucking dog.
Yeah, that thing's dying.
Yeah, they're gonna kill that thing off. There are actually people. I remember the people were talking to Xbox after they showed like Ghost and everything in their not their conference, but when they were showing off the game. When they showed Ghost, people were like saying, if you kill off the dog, like once the dog was announced, if you kill off the dog, I'm gonna give the game back. People were really upset about the dog, and I don't know just how much into play it is gonna be because Infinity Ward definitely made like a huge ordeal over it, to make sure they put a lot of emphasis on the fact that there is going to be a dog, so I assume they're going to be doing a lot with it.
And they announced that they were going to make more the characters more emotionally tied to the protagonist or the main character, which is you. So I can only imagine the worst out of that is like, hey, they're going to kill off everyone you know and love. So that skeleton is not. Oh, hey, thanks, skeleton. You killed him for me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So I mean, Ghost. I'm gonna be completely honest here. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. MW2 was my favorite.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
David's getting fucked over by skeletons.
Oh God.
Modern Warfare 2 was by far my favorite Call of Duty game, and in my opinion, the series went downhill from there. Again, this is only my opinion. A lot of people like the Black Ops series, and a lot of people like Modern Warfare 3. But personally, I think after MW2, the series took a serious hit.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that one. I mean, Modern Warfare 3, I thought, it was a great game. Don't get me wrong. I love Modern Warfare 3, but I don't think it was necessary.
It was the whole thing that all right. You go back and you play the first Call of Duty, and you play first Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then you play Modern Warfare 2, and you're like, wow, they did a shit ton with this game. I can see a difference. I love it. There's a crazy story. There's not only just different weapons, different maps. They actually put effort into this game. And then you have Modern Warfare 3 come out.
Oh God.
Essentially, in my opinion, a copy of MW2, different maps and different guns, which a lot of people argue is all Call of Duty is.
It kind of is. I mean, again, I love Call of Duty. I keep buying them, so I can't complain.
I at this point I buy them for the whole like thing that I'm sitting there on the Xbox Live dashboard with like David and Garrett and Vincent. They're playing the brand new Call of Duties. I don't want to get them because I know it's basically essentially the same Call of Duty over and over again. But eventually I get them because I don't want to sit there by myself like a loser.
You are a loser.
Shut your face.
Okay, babe.
And the Ghost, like they're putting a whole new dog in. It seems like they're putting a lot into the series, but I can. Yeah, if I can predict the future, I'm gonna say that it's gonna sell like a regular Call of Duty game. It's probably gonna have like that one thing that makes it different, like all Call of Duties do. Black Ops 2, what made it different is the whole future aspect. What made Modern Warfare 3 different is the guns and maps. So probably gonna have that one thing that makes the game different, and that's about it.
I think
they're also running. Yeah, and they're also They're also making a brand new engine for it. So they're finally getting off their shitty excuse for an engine.
Yeah, they are revamping the graphics completely, and it's gonna be great. At least in my opinion, I think it's gonna be great.
There's actually a funny video if you guys want to watch it. It's called New Gen Consoles in quotation marks. Basically what they have is they have a Call of Duty Ghost developers talk about the new AI, and he specifically mentions fishes. What they have...
Fish.
Yeah, fish.
Sorry.
What the developer says is he says, we got a brand new AI, we put a brand new AI to the fishes, so when you touch them, they swim away. And then it cuts back to a Mario 64 video where they do the exact same thing. New gen technology, they say.
That actually is pretty funny.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. I recommend watching that video if you're looking for a good laugh. Um, but moving on to our next topic, Battlefield 4.
Oh joy.
Boy, there is a lot of hype for that game, especially from my Battlefield gamers, specifically Vincent. I don't know if when this video goes up, you still know Vincent too well, but he's a huge Battlefield gamer. Like he loves Battlefield, and he'll suck a developer's dick.
Really will.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of the series, and from him alone, he's getting crazy hype for it. I don't blame him either. I've seen the trailer for it, and boy, they are really pulling out all the stops.
I mean, that could be said the same thing for Ghost. I mean, I don't know.
It's
I think in my opinion, I think this is probably going to be their best Call of Duty.
Ghost?
Yes.
Yeah. It might be, it might not be. I know that as of currently, I like Modern Warfare the most. Going back to Battlefield 4, you know, they're really like putting in like a ton of shit. They're putting in a lot of work, and you gotta know this is a Battlefield game, and they're known for bringing first-person shooters to a whole new level. If you ever played for my Battlefield 3 gamers, for anyone who's played Call of Duty and then played Battlefield 3, you can clearly tell a difference. And for anyone who's a strictly Call of Duty gamer or strictly Battlefield gamer, just, you know, take it easy. Every series has its own ups and downs. For example, in my way, why I prefer Call of Duty over Battlefield 3 at times is, you know, the fact that I could be much more skilled than the enemy player, and I could be going on a crazy, you know, tear. I could be going 20-0, and, you know, some little kid gets in the tank and blows me up and completely fucks me over because there's nothing I can do. I can either hide from it if I'm lucky, or, you know, try to pull out my javelin and get as many shots in before I eventually die. So I mean, it's really like a whole aspect if you're getting fucked over by vehicles, which I don't like. Well, that's where you already have a sword, David. But
I know I'm making a pimp slapper. It's just in case.
Yeah, pimp slapper is a personal joke you might hear in a later Minecraft series, which hope to be spoilers. Going back to Battlefield 4, you know, they seem like they're putting a lot of effort into it. I'm personally excited for it. I can't wait to get it. I don't know who's going to be doing a walkthrough on that. You guys might see that from David, from me, or for Garrett. But we'll see. It'll probably end up being Vincent, because he's the biggest Battlefield fan of us all. I'm going to quickly go ahead and hop off Battlefield 4, and for the most original game that has ever been created, Destiny. Oh boy. Clearly you can tell how much, you know, the developers put effort into that game. Essentially what they did is, in my opinion, they copy and pasted Halo, changed up the characters, and put it on a brand new planet and called it Destiny. Like, actually I was talking to my friend Garrett, well, not Garrett, well, actually it might have been Garrett. You know, David and Garrett both are huge fans of Bungie, so I mean, the huge fans of Halo specifically. So that, you know, the more Halo like it is, the more they like it. But personally, I'm not willing to spend $100 on a game that's exactly like the 5 or 6 previous games I've already played, just under a new name.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I assume after David's done killing the skeleton, he's gonna put like his 2 cents into it.
I mean, not to beat a dead horse here, but I feel like, again, they just, you know, copied off their own game. I mean, bravo for them for making it work, but I don't know. Of course I'm going to get it because, you know, it is Bungie, but I don't know. My feelings towards it are, as of now, neutral.
I'm personally going to end up getting it myself. If there's, I know there's going to be co-op for that game. You know, maybe we'll do a co-op series, because I really like co-op on games. For example, if you have co-op on mostly any game, you know, it's a sell to me. I love co-op games. The game might be shitty, but the fact that you're playing with other people, you know, it really makes the game that much more enjoyable.
If only Amnesia was with co-op.
I won't play with you ever.
So much easier.
I still not play with you. Anyone you will try to play with you, I will choke them. Why should anyone else piss their pants just because you're too scared?
Dude, that game is fucking scary. Speaking of which, hold on. Just a quick announcement for those who don't know: Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs has been informally announced. So that is their new installment in the Amnesia series. So
Yeah,
I know I'm going to be getting
might
that.
get a little bit further. Yeah, they might be a little further into this episode. We might not. We'll see how fast we can get to the other topics. So we just got done with Destiny. My second favorite game company, only solely because of one series, and that is Saints Row and THQ. Well, THQ and Saints Row. I've always been a fan of THQ since the first Saints Row. You know, they really identified themselves with Saints Row 1. They went crazy with Saints Row 2. And Saints Row 3, you know, I adored. I love that game. David can tell you I didn't get off that game for weeks.
He has almost every achievement. He literally needs 2 more, and then he has all of them in that freaking game. Oh,
all the DLCs included. All the DLCs included. Which is a little bit crazy. You know, I really enjoyed the game. I really liked it. The only thing I can say bad about it is, you know, after you finish the campaign, it gets boring. But that can be said for almost any game.
Yeah.
Almost any game, which is exactly why my first favorite company, Bethesda, really keeps outdoing themselves with the stories. But that's a whole different topic that we're not going to get into. So, in case you're wondering, my number one company, Bethesda, all day, every day. Going back to THQ, for those of you who don't know, they are liquefied. I don't know if another company bought them out yet, but it's the last news I've heard is they're liquefied. You know, the Saints Row series is gonna be taken over by someone else. As far as I know, I don't know if you know it's different now, but as far as I know, they have a whole different company taking over the Saints Row series. And I also know that the Saints Row 4 might be a little bit of a letdown. I know that from my friend Randy, who's a huge Saints Row fan, and actually any sandbox fan. I don't know if he might be later on the channel. He might not be. I'm not making any promises.
Hell no.
I'm going to go ahead and leave that comment to be. You guys might figure it out later why he said what he said.
Oh, if he ever is, then you'll understand.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So THQ got liquefied. The main problem that they're having is the WWE games. Like, the games destroyed the company. Because the WWE just wanted so much, and it's basically, I've never been a fan of the wrestling games. They're literally the exact same game over and over again. And they're the same shitty game that they keep making. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. And, you know, for the press conferences, they keep inviting people who like the game. They keep inviting them to them. I don't see how that makes sense in their eyes. For example, if someone you know likes my game, that's great. I want to get someone in the press conference who doesn't like the game, you know, so I can get their opinion on it. I'm trying to remember which company does that. I forget. There's a company that basically invited a person who hated almost everything about their game, and he came out satisfied, which means they really outdid themselves. You know, and try to like go over, you know, what the stuff people didn't like and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know what is going on, but WWE is now being taken over by 2K, which is the next thing in our topic. Are we done with? Yeah, are we done with THQ?
Yeah, we're done with THQ.
Yeah,
I'm done.
All right. Now we're gonna move on to 2K. Personally, they really enjoyed their success with Borderlands, in my opinion. That Borderlands was probably one of their best games.
Shit out of Borderlands.
I also very enjoyed Borderlands.
If you want to play Borderlands with me, you should totally hit me up, bruh.
Sure. You know, they really added themselves with Borderlands. Borderlands was a great game. You know, I recommend it if you haven't played it yet. I recommend the first and the second one equally. You know, it's a great game. But going back to the wrestling aspect of it, they were really complaining about the budget. You know, like they were really complaining about like budget and shit like that, and how, you know, we can't make a different game because we're low on money. You're owned by 2K now. Budget should never ever be a problem.
Really shouldn't.
Yeah. Off that topic, 2K, you know, I heard 2K are making like aside from their sports games and aside from WWE, I heard they're also working on a new game which has. Which I don't know if they specifically announced it, but I heard rumors that, you know, they're working on a new game. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's MMO. I don't know if it's strippers or shooters. All I know is they're making a new one, and these are rumors again. That's all I have from my list. I know David wanted to add something about amnesia, and then I might add one more thing. So I'm gonna let David take over with anything else he wants to say. David, go ahead.
This isn't actually about. This isn't pertaining to actual amnesia news, but I just want to put this out there. I was gonna make a video for it, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just stay alive. Fuck it, we'll do it live. That's Bill O'Reilly. Anyways, not Bill O'Reilly. That's not Bill O'Reilly. Yeah. I'm thinking of John Cena. Never mind. Anyways, so Amnesia has a separate game mode, which is the Justine mode. It's basically you got one shot at beating the game. It's not it's a completely different storyline, but you have one shot to beating the game, the Justine mode game, and then if you die, then you die. It's game over, man. So
you gotta start from the beginning.
What?
You gotta start from the beginning.
Yeah, you got to start from the beginning, which really would just suck. So
yeah.
If you want me to do that, I will gladly do so. Just leave in the comments, be like, "Do it, bitch," and I'll do it. And please recommend any other like horror games you want me to play. I know I'm going to be co-commentating Dead Space 2 with Vincent, and I'm going to be doing Penumbra whenever I decide to get that. So
we might be doing Dead Space 3. That is something I plan on doing.
I heard Dead Space 3 wasn't even that scary.
It wasn't that scary because they have the whole co-op aspect in it.
That's
why it wasn't too scary. You had someone to share the experience with you. If you play that game alone, it's not as scary as Dead Space 2. They really toned it down a bit, but it's still like has its moments. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. If you guys have any more suggestions about what we do with the series, or go ahead and drop a comment, drop a like, drop a favorite, subscribe. And really tell us in the comments what else you guys want us to talk about. I assume this is going to be a very rare series, and by rare I mean we're not going to have 300 episodes of this series. It's probably a series when something big happens.
Yeah.
And we want to talk about.
We're going to be doing this when whenever there's big gaming news, something super insane.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So that's mostly what I wanted to talk about.
Fuck do you make a ladder?
A ladder. Fuck. I was going to tell you how, but I completely forgot. I think you take off those. No, I'm not. I'm not going to embarrass myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. If David has something to add, I'm going to go ahead and peace out. David.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Like I said, if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. If you want to see any of the actual games we play, you should definitely subscribe. So, yeah, I think that's all we got. So, my name is David.
I'm Venom.
And as always, have a wonderful day.